Welcome to another edition of Diggs Man's Kitchen. So we are on Christmas Eve getting ready for cooking a big prime rib roast for dinner on the Big Green Egg tomorrow for Christmas. So the way this roast has to work is we're going to make a rub that has to sit overnight. So I've got everything ready. So what we've basically got here is I've got a stick of butter that's already been melted. And what I'm going to add to the butter is I'm going to add about 1/8 of a cup of parsley, 1/8 of a cup of tarragon, 1/8 of a cup of oregano, 1/8 of a cup of basil, and then this is thyme that's already ground up thyme, so that's also about 1/8 of a cup. And then I have 4 garlic cloves that I've already crushed up that will go into the mix. I like throwing a little spice, a little Cajun magic into this, so whatever you like is your favorite Cajun type of a rub is what I've got here, just to give it a little bit of spice and a little bit of heat. I'm a big proponent of really good salt and really good pepper, so this is fresh ground pepper and some Himalayan salt that I'm going to put into the mix. And then we will rub all of that together. And that'll make kind of a dry, pasty sort of rub, if you can see that right there. So just kind of get it all rubbed together. What I didn't mention is that we're also going to do some pheasant, 2 pheasant breasts and 4 or 5 duck breasts that are going to go along with our dinner, so that for those people that are willing to eat some wild game, we throw that into the mix for Christmas. Not all of my group will eat it, but they'll definitely eat the beef. So what I basically do is get this pasted all together, and then it's pretty simple. We just rub it all together. So here's the one of the pheasant breasts here. So just kind of get all of that rubbed together like that. Just kind of get it pasted on there. As soon as as that mixture hits the bird, which is cold, it'll make it congeal onto the breast of the bird. So same thing for these. And then those are the pheasant breasts. And then I've got the duck breasts right here, so we'll do the same thing with the duck breasts. And we'll just set all that to the side here. I'll finish those later. And then the same thing with the meat. So you do the same thing to meat. This is about an 8.5 pound prime rib roast. The butcher actually prepared this for me so that the bone is cut out, so that when it comes time to slicing and feeding your family, you can easily slice without having the bones in it. But then they take it and they tie it all back together and have the bone on the bottom, so the bone is still in the roast, so you get the flavor of the bone, but when it comes time to take it apart, you just cut the strings off and the bone will fall off. And if you've got those in your crowd that would like to nibble on the bone, then I would highly recommend it, because that's where a lot of the flavor is. And so then what we're going to do is I'll finish getting all this rubbed up together, and then we're going to leave all of this. We'll cover up the bird and the duck in the refrigerator with some tin foil, let it sit for 24 hours. The beef, however, you'll let that sit in the refrigerator uncovered, because what we're trying to do is to let it dry a little bit and have this mixture dry on top of the beef. And then that's going to provide a really nice base for us to put this on the Big Green Egg tomorrow. So I'm doing this about 24 hours in advance, so that this all can be sitting in the refrigerator and be ready to go for us to cook for Christmas. This is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes per pound, so we'll prepare for the timing on that. And that's how we're going to do our Christmas dinner for tomorrow. So that's basically all your preparation the day before, and then we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Merry Christmas. All right, Merry Christmas. It is a gorgeous day here in North Carolina on the coast, and so we're picking back up where we left off yesterday. So we've got all of the meat is prepared and sat in the refrigerator and dry rubbed overnight. So here we've got the standing rib roast, and all of the mixture that we did last night is really formed nicely on the meat. And then if you come on around here, you can see the same thing with the pheasant, and the duck breast is all looking really nice. So we've got everything ready to go. We've got the Big Green Egg that's already fired up, so I'm not going to get into a lot of the details of how I set all the grill up, because everybody probably already knows how to do that. I like using an electric eye to start it. If you haven't discovered this yet, that is an amazing little gadget that you can use to start the fire. So that's already been done. So we'll put that away. We're going to be doing all of the meat today on indirect heating. So down in the Big Green Egg, I've got the indirect heat set up, and then I've got a pan with water in it so far. I like to add a beer in there. The beer doesn't matter, just a good cheap Miller Lite. If you don't like wasting a good beer, then that'll provide a lot of moisture and keep the meat and everything nice and moist as we go along. And then you put your grate. Another little tool that I like to use is this little flame boss right here. This thing is the bomb. It's got an ability to control the meat temperature, the grill temperature, with a fan set up that's all on it. So you connect this fan that is automatically powered down into the egg down here, so that you can tell the flame boss exactly what temperature you want the meat, what temperature you want the grill. When the meat hits that temperature, it'll automatically shut everything down for you, and you can connect it through Bluetooth through your phone if you really want to get high tech. And then you set a probe on the grill itself so that it knows what the internal temperature is of the grill. Make sure you get it over the indirect side of things. And then what I'm going to do is I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put the standing rib roast right in the center. The probe is already in the meat. So this is going to need to cook, it's about 9 pounds, so it's going to have to cook about 20 minutes per pound, so that's about 2.5 hours. So that's all ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and close this bad boy up. And then I'm going to close this down to about almost closed on the top and just some holes right there. And what I want to do is I want the grill temperature to stay at about 300 degrees for the entire time, above 2.5 hours. And so when that is done, we're going to take the meat off and let it rest. Along the way, we're going to stick the pheasant in about an hour out, because the pheasant and the chicken and the duck doesn't need to cook as long. So we'll have that go in there about an hour out, and then after that, we'll pick it back up and catch the end of it a little bit later. So touch base with you when we get to the about 2.5 hour mark. Okay, we have to do an interim check just to check out that sunset. Wow, that's gorgeous. Wow. Look how nice that's looking. So let's see, we're getting close. We have, we're looking like we're at about 88 degrees. Pit's 300 degrees, so that's about perfect. So we're getting ready to, I'm gonna go get another rack, and I'm gonna put the pheasant and the duck breast on, and then we should be ready to eat probably about another hour. So anyway, God bless, and what a beautiful day that the Lord has allowed us to have on this Christmas day. Okay, so we've got about 45 minutes left. The meat's up to 92 degrees. The temperature that you want for the beef is you want 110 degrees for rare, 120 degrees for medium rare. So with our crowd, we've got a little both, so we're going to go to about 120. The pheasant looks really yummy, so we're going to get those on. We're going to put those around the edges. These are going to need to cook about 45 minutes or so. So we're going to get on there. We had one person add to our group that want to eat these things, including beef. So we've got a piece of chicken we're going to stick on that side. And then the duck breasts are going to sit out here. They don't need to go quite as long. Duck needs to be cooked to about medium rare. So we're going to not put those on quite yet because they're a lot thinner. So we'll come back and add those in about a half hour. So, but we're good to go in about 45 minutes. A little Christmas cheer that you have to have. So we've got just a little yummy something to bring in the evening. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, it's gotten dark on us. I've enlisted the support of my son, so this meat is now at 120 degrees, so it's time to come off. So it looks amazing. So what the next step is we're going to take this off and wrap it for 15 minutes and let it rest for 15 minutes. Wrap it in tin foil. Go ahead and pull it off. And then I'm going to take the grill and I'm going to set it up for direct heat. So I'm going to take all of the indirect ceramic piece of the big green egg out, and then I'm going to get the grill up to about 550 degrees. And then once I do that, I'm going to take the roast, the beef roast, I'm going to bring it back out for 90 seconds on each side at 500 degrees and just kind of brown it and crisp it on both sides, and then she will be done and it's time to eat. So we'll talk to you in just a second. Okay, so now it's time to get the grill repositioned for the direct heating, so definitely helps to have some really hot fire mitts for this process. Otherwise, you won't be able to pick this thing up. It's too hot. So pull all of this out. Where is this? There it is. And then just kind of stir the coals up a little bit. They are super hot. And then this thing will come up to temperature very soon. So I'm going to open everything up wide open here and here. Oops. There goes my flame boss. And now she'll get hot. So we'll put it back on for 90 seconds aside and then it'll be ready. So, all right, final step. I've enlisted the assistance of my other son. So now we've got the grill at about 550 degrees. So it is super hot. And so what we're going to do is sear each side now for 90 seconds aside. And then after that, we'll pull it off and we're done and ready to eat. So very short step, but sears all the juices in it right here at the end. Ready? All right, we have done both sides. That's what it looks like at the very end. So I'll take it off now. Wow, that looks awesome. Check that out. Now we'll take it inside and we'll cover it back up. Just let it rest for just about 5 minutes. Let her settle down, and I'm gonna slice it up, and then it is time to eat. So hope everybody has a great Christmas. God bless, and we'll talk to you later.